put some fucking pants on and go outside and do some shit.
Nothing to do.
There's nothing to do.
Girl, there is nothing to do.
The Sandhills wants to know what time it is. It's time to get ready for the unlimited social scoop. Introducing Nuthin To Do, the Sandhills Social Scene Podcast, straight from the Share Studios with your host, Dominique.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out with Brian where my left and my right is. Hi guys, this is the 17th episode of the Nuthin To Do Podcast with your girl Dominique, and we are here at the Share Studios. And big ups to Cumulus Media Group for allowing this to happen. That's Rock 103, Magic 106.9, Q98, and 640 AM. So make sure to like, subscribe to all of the things. Quick recap on my weekend, because it was crazy busy to have all of those things going on with the major migraine that I had that I'm still having. It's lingering a little bit. But on Friday, all of the influencers were at the Crown with the Globetrotters, and baby, we Globetrotted it. We had a blast. It was a good game. Took a friend with me, and she actually thought she was there to see basketball. She was slightly disappointed, and being that she was, it made it a lot more better for me. I know I'm a troll. On Saturday, a lot of the employees and survivors for Step Up and Help came out for the walk. It was great. The weather was amazing. Shout out to DJ Rillas. Like, come on, dude. You came through. I appreciate you. We also cheered with the Methodist cheerleaders. Well, line dance. There was some Zumba going on, but I was already breathing too heavy from being big and walking. Didn't join in on that, but it looked like a lot of fun. So shout out to the Cape Fear Valley Health Foundation for doing such an amazing job for an amazing cause. And then we turned around and did the lip sync battle with the Child Advocacy Center, excuse me. But I was thinking about how it's the ultimate lip sync battle, and then I just tripped over my words, so I apologize. Thank you guys for letting me be a part of that. I was with Judge Hannah Ray Rent and my homeboy LJ, and one of the key factors that really touched our soul is the fact that theater in high school is not dead. You hear me? It's alive, thriving, and well. And even though there were a lot, I judged the adult portion, there were a lot of great acts, like Michael Daughtry was there, Stephanie Keeler was there, and you had the cast of, well, not necessarily cast, but they're theater people. Cape Fear Regional Theater came out and did the Ex-Wives, which was amazing. And baby, I can't even remember the name of the group, but it was with Yaya, Jennifer Debier. Like, them girls did Cell Block Tango from Chicago. Nailed it. It was amazing. It was great. But another performance that took it to another level, which they weren't competing because they competed early on that day, and then went to the step show, took first place, and then came back to perform for us. E. Smith High School acting troupe. This week they're doing Grease. I'll put the flyer up for you. You can catch them twice on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And I know we have everything going on this weekend. But Grease is one of my favorite musicals. And the way these kids performed Grease Lightning, like, you could not tell me that I wasn't living my life, my best life, because I really didn't get into theater when I was in high school. And it was deemed being, you know, nerdy, whatever. But all of the nerdy stuff is now cool. So if you get a chance, go ahead and represent and go check out the Golden Bulls as they put on their production of Grease Lightning this weekend for you. No cash. There'll be a QR code. You can go ahead and just get your ticket there. But please, 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 as an Eagle, as a Douglasburg Eagle, please, please, please do your best to go out and support all the other schools in the county, because they all are doing their dopest with what they do. So this episode, speaking of dope people, I have 3 heavy hitters in the community, and I cannot wait. So it's episode 17 of Nuthin To Do. Hopefully I haven't let you down yet. Bye. See you in a couple seconds. at the Share Studios is Nothing to Do episode 17. And when I tell you, like, I would say I was a partier. I still am. I run into a lot of amazing people and business owners in town. And I am lucky to be sitting with two of the men that are keeping it going. And we're about to talk about one of their events. So to the studio, we would like to introduce, we've got Paddy himself and Shawn Adkins. Hey guys, welcome.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Paddy himself.
It's doing me. So you guys have been in the Fayetteville scene for decades, doing your thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shawn, you have background records, but you've done a lot of things for the music scene. Let's talk about it. So Rock Shop.
Mm-hmm.
What about?
Yeah, Rock Shop. So I was working at Husk Hardware, which I met Paddy at. He was playing there back in 04, something like that, Paddy and Bill. So I was over there tossing salads.
Of course you were.
Fucking pro.
Of course you were.
And then
remember
so Paddy was over there. I was like,
Look at that guy tossing salads. I want to meet him.
Husk Hardware was the fucking shit. So yeah, I took over open mic Mondays over there and Wednesdays, and it was fucking great. And then my boss, David, at Husk Hardware, he said, "Hey man, there's this place down the road that's opening up. You know, you should start a venue because the parties you throw at your house are crazy." So I was like, yeah, just joking around. Hey, whenever you want to go 50-50, let's do it. So the next day he was like, "Hey man, let's do it." I was like, "What the fuck?" So we go in there and there's like fleas jumping all over us and stuff like that. It's old John Jay's building, you know, the first rock shop. Started in 07. And yeah, man, starting that up was really, really awesome. Bought them out like right away because they had to move. But heard Husk Hardware is open. It's open for open for sale.
Yeah, absolutely. And Paddy, I remember seeing you and Bill at it's Mac's Speed Shop now, but I forget the name of what it used to be. Do you remember the name?
Skips.
It was before Skips, though. Wasn't it something else?
Oh, it was Squire's Pub back when I first started, before I even met Bill. It was an English bar, which normally you wouldn't see Irish people in, but at the time, yeah, that was back in the 90s, and I was just out of grad school, I think, and pottering around trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and I just whatever picked up a guitar. I always played a little bit of guitar, and the manager in there, the guys I used to hang out with, like, could say, he plays the guitar. I'm like, fuck it, yeah. But in college, in a dorm room, you know, trying to win over the affection, it's just 2 finger movements. It's the easiest guitar thing.
You guys make it look so effortless.
I know.
It's so great. I love it.
Well, so yeah, I remember I played one St. Patrick's Day or whatever it was, 94, 95, and 95 I was out Chapel Hill earlier that year, and whatever, I just started playing around the community, and I wasn't really good enough to check out my guitar solo, so it was about personality. And also I feel like, you know, especially back then, people wanted to be entertained, and there's different ways to entertain people, and you know, it's you know, you can be a great instrumentalist, but knowing somebody's name, saying hello, remembering that it's their birthday, giving them a free CD, thank you for coming. People end up, you know, I think supporting you, even if they technically may not like some of the songs you sing or some of the things you say, but they like you personally. That goes a long way in business. So for me, yeah, I became a working musician, and crazy, it just worked out really well. Met people like Bill, who was a brilliant musician, and together we did some great things. And then it seemed obvious after years of packing bars out all around North and South Carolina, everywhere we went, we had a big following, which I never really paid much attention to at the time, because I just figured, okay, that happened. We were too busy working. We used to play 4 gigs a week. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Friday, and every Saturday of every week. I would occasionally go home to visit my folks, but other than that, we worked. I didn't have time to see other bands or even know what other bands were doing. It wasn't until I got into the music business or into the bar business myself that I realized how unusual it was for any act to have that kind of a following everywhere you went, every time you played,
right,
you know,
right.
and I feel really fortunate to have been part of something like that. That's why today Bill and I are, you know, we hold that very sacred. We feel very fortunate to have been part of something like that and brought so many laughs to people and that's what it was about, laughing, having a beer, singing songs and entertaining people.
And Shawn, you played too. You had
Yeah.
your band Smegma.
Yeah, the answers. I had so many. I don't know, 10 easy. But you know, it's just. I think me and Paddy are very much the same kind of entity. You know, I remember when I was working at Husk Hardware and watching him. It's so fucking funny, and you know, then him starting up a club. We started a club at the same time. The same month-ish. And I was like, that motherfucker deserves it, you know? And it's so cool, you know, to see him do his thing. And where he's at now is, it's sort of like a dream. I can only imagine. I always try to tell him, man, you fucking did good. You're the shit. And I hope you can fathom what you've accomplished, because it takes an outsider to tell you every now and then. So I always fucking, anytime I get a chance to see him, I make sure I look him in his eyes like, fucking no, you fucking did everything. Because if you, as I said, you know, like as I'm sort of putting it out there, you know, when it comes down to like both sides, the church and Paddy's, it's incredible. It blows my mind, man. He deserves everything he has.
He does.
Period.
He does, and it's really great how when people talk about Fayetteville, there's, I would say, 4 solid places that are in every conversation: Rick's Lounge, It's, Rock Shop, Paddy's, in no particular order. So like the entertainment that you guys have brought and the memories that you guys keep going through people's heads, it's insane. That's why like I'm actually blessed to be sitting next to you guys. I am blessed to be able to high five you and hug you when I see you, because you've done so much for the community. But why Fayetteville? You guys could be anywhere. I've seen your wall of stars, Paddy.
Yeah.
All the pictures you have.
Well, they wanted to meet me. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, why Fayetteville? But why not Fayetteville, though? I mean, first of all, thank you. That was very kind of you. I feel I need that positive reinforcement because, as you know, I'm kind of weak and insecure. Anyway, look, I'm the product of, I think anyone in business will tell you, the great Emperor Keith will tell you, no man's an island. I have an incredible team around me, and I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough. Jessica Corona runs not just the bar, but all my operations, and also has pushed me as a man, pushed me as a businessman to grow and to, you know, to try to be great. Be great.
Good.
Where do you go to that next level to be great? You know what I mean? And you get people like that in your life. I mean, really, it just happens that my name is or my nickname is on the door. So you kind of be over-regarded. And, you know, I have plenty of people in my life that wouldn't allow me to believe too strongly how wonderful I am. I'm just a person. I work hard and I try to make sure I'm surrounded by good people, and that way I know that I can't really fail. Even if you do have things like fires and pandemics and all that, you realize that your true strength as people around you, and that you always prevail when you have good folks. Because even if
I see it,
shit burns down, you got to build something else. You look back a year later and go, I still survived. We're better than we were before. That's you know, I feel like a link in the chain. I would say that. And then why Fayetteville? Well, really, for me, very in a nutshell, I was a 17-year-old kid in Dublin, Ireland, playing football, soccer, you guys call it, and even though you're football, nobody actually kicks the ball, but you still
one person.
Yeah, and he's usually a soccer player. Isn't that funny? But you still call it football. Anyway, our kind of football, growing up at home, you know, there was American coaches coming over to Ireland, and they were looking for Irish kids and English kids, and to give scholarships to, you know. So myself and a couple of other guys, we all the team I played on, everybody went professional or went into the American college system, and I was one of the ones that got an opportunity to go to college over here. But we had to go to high school for a year, and a member of the board of trustees in Chapel Hill was a Fayetteville position, and he knew the coach at Carolina and whatever. So we ended up, we just got a phone call saying we were going to a place called Fayetteville, and we were all going to, I was with two other guys, we were going to live with American families for 1 year, go to the Fayetteville Academy High School, which we were working class kids, and you're going to school with the children of a lot of privileged people, you know, and so, which lovely people. And we just got so many wonderful opportunities here. People were nice to us. We were good kids, you know. We were good students, or at least we tried. And we were, you know. And I think after the year was over, you go away to college. You know, Fayetteville was the place I'd come back to for Thanksgiving with my American family who lived in Fayetteville. Christmas, when I didn't go home to Ireland to my own family. So Fayetteville became kind of, why not? Dublin's where I'm from. And then having lived in Boston and been to New York and in San Francisco, I lived in briefly, and these huge Irish communities, and you can get lost, swallowed up. Down here, you're kind of the Irish guy. Up there, you're one of them. And
You're Irish?
I've been accused of it a few times. But you know, I think if you do well in a community like Fayetteville and you're a good human being, you can live well here. Mm-hmm. Fayetteville, centrally located, not just within the state, but within on the eastern seaboard. You know what I mean? It's just a couple of hours drive to the beach, to the mountains, a couple of hours on a plane to New York or Miami. And I've met some of the most fantastic people that I've ever met in this community. You know, people are in the military, people like Jim, you know, people that I've known for most of my life here who are good human beings. And, you know, when you're surrounded by people like that, I mean, who cares if it's Fayetteville or New York or Paris or London? Yeah. You go to any of those big cities, I've been to all of them, and you can be very lonely and very unhappy in places like that. So don't be fooled. Fayetteville's what you make of it, like anything else.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly what you said. That, you know, that's what, when I talk to people, yeah, people always come back. They'll go to LA, they'll go to New York, and then, you know, they always come back to Fayetteville. So it's the magnet. It always is. And, you know, like, I'm moving out. I was like, I'll see you soon. And I dude, no joke.
I think it's wherever you lay your hat, though, Dominique. You know, one thing that gets a little annoying are people who blame their myriad of problems on a geographical location. Like, Fayetteville sucks. No, you suck. You know. And if you're an idiot here, you're going to be an idiot in LA. You're going to be an idiot in Toronto, and you're going to be around dipshits there too, because you're a dipshit, you know? So to me, well, is that too honest?
No, I mean, it's real.
Oh, dipshit, sorry. Not out.
No, we're leaving.
You have to get real here, you know, you have to be, you get a little older, I'm in my 50s now, I just don't have time for stupid people, or, you know, if you can't be real and be straight up, time is limited, you know, so... Say what you mean what you say, and shut up otherwise, would you?
Yeah. Cheers.
Well, cheers.
Yeah,
I have water.
We'll do that.
But Shawn, you have since day one had a lot of progressive ideas. Like did a lot of the EDM shows around town, your lavish parties that you talk about, and you've also did a lot with the art community. And are doing a lot with the art community. Can we talk about Art Attack and then how this happened?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I've always been into art. I'm not an artist myself when it comes down to, well, I feel like I am now because I'm a collage artist, you know, like the hip hop of art, you know, the beginning of hip hop of art. I steal other people's shit and make it my own. You know, that's sort of what I do, but I love it. Dude, I'm telling you, man, like when I do that, I feel better than I've ever felt. You know, I'm a musician. That's what I've always done. But when I get into my artwork, I love it. But I don't know, it all just happened throughout my friendships with people. And I guess I had an artistic mind at the time. And the friendships that I made throughout my life came together with the first rock shop, and it never ended. So in 07, I had so many people coming out, like Liz Gruesome. She's done several murals for me, or for us, for the town, and so many more. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I just love art in any genre. So like this right here, back at the rock shop, I was talking to people, and I was like, man, I want to do something that implements all kinds of arts, even if it's like dreading hair to, a painting or whatever, anything that has a like-minded individual to connect with, and those people coming together. It's what it's all about, man, to me. And I can't come off of it. So I keep fucking doing it, and like, the Paddy's, it was many years ago. They reached out to me, and we tried to have a conversation about doing the Art Attack, because it was such a big thing at the rock shop and everybody liked it. And Jennifer, right? Jessica, I'm sorry. Jessica, she
beat your ass for that one.
But she came to me, and she was like, we need to do this. And she came to all of us, and we tried to make it happen, and it just didn't come to fruition. But now it's happening, and it's just the right time, at least for me, to put my energy into this, because of what Paddy and all them have created within their venue is crazy. Cool.
How would you describe Art Attack? Just so, for people that don't know out there, how would you describe it, what it is?
Well, it's when all the artists and anybody that likes art, so like if anybody comes into the record store, I'm like, dude, come and check this out. This is like, anybody that makes it up my staircase earns it. It's, like some people turn around like, okay, I don't belong here or whatever. But because it's too much going on, the art. So I get to talk to all these people. So Art Attack is everybody, as I said, from like dreading hair to painting to, pencil drawing, doesn't matter. Kids, it's all ages. It's free to get in. It's everything we need to go to the next level, and go to the next level of a better thought process of being generically, controlled by like the mainstream media. Like, this is our shit. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna get something out of it. We're not gonna falter. We are artists. You are. I know you are. I know you are. This is what what the fuck we're doing, and that's what we're doing. So there's flyers going around, guys.
I heard about flyers. So it's kind of like, it's a collective of creatives. It's a safe space for creatives, because a lot of times we as creatives don't have a space that we can call our own, except for the bar, which I love the bar, but sometimes you want to do more with your hands while you're there, And one thing that I also think is amazing and brilliant from you, Paddy, is you open up so many different options for people to go in. It's not just clubbing. It's just not just a bar. It's so many different avenues. So the fact that you guys are merging together to bring back Art Attack and giving those creatives that space is actually really dope. And it's it's something that's been needed for a very long time.
Fuck yeah.
I agree. I will say, first of all, it's been very hard to break the stigma, the belief in communities, small communities in the United States like this, of a bar equals fighting, drinking, soldiers, trying to touch your wife or girlfriend, all stuff that we would never allow. More and more, like where I grew up, a pub is short for public house. And it'd be one on the end of the street. It's where the public go to talk, discuss life, to get out of the house for a couple hours. Many times people don't even really drink that much. You might have a cup of coffee, And more and more now, young people are not really drinking as much. as their parents would have, you know. So that's why a lot of the beer companies now have come out with non-alcoholic beers. We've got a pretty extensive mocktail menu. It's not about drinking, and trying to get that out of people's minds. Oh, Paddy's must be this, must be that. It's taken a long time to break that and have things like comedy and trivia and open that beautiful big room that we have that we call the church, which is a multi-dimensional kind of entertainment space that you can do whatever in.
Absolutely. I mean, you allowed me to come in and have a charity event there 2 years in a row.
Right, it was great.
And it's great. It's beautiful. And I can't stress enough, like, how much you give back and pour back into the community.
Oh,
like,
my God.
So when people were like, it's just a bar, just like Pepper said, no, it's a community.
That's
these
right.
are my people. These are my family.
That's right.
And if you don't know that you're about to be family, just wait a couple.
Just wait for a while, and that's a great thing to be part of, and that's what provides longevity for us. And you know, I think so. The Art Attack idea, Shawn, and ironically, why I'm dressed like this is I was going to go to the gym. And when I first met Shawn, was at a gym. He was working. You were working in the sports center. You were like behind the juice bar or whatever. You were young.
I don't remember that at all.
You were
Wait, I remember that.
You were a teenager. You're younger than me. When you had your guitar over there, I saw you.
Oh, shit.
Good-looking guy. All the girls were like, "Oh, can I get juice?" And I'm like, yeah, but whatever. He was a teenager, but I didn't know him. But I knew him. He was a striking fella, and even though I'm a raging heterosexual, I can recognize that's a good-looking dude over there. Anyway, it was later on, got to know him, and again, having done it, I know what it takes to open a place, any business, but particularly the bar business, and survive. And he did that more than that. He got out on his own terms. And so I was respected him, admired him, and you know, we've never really had a chance to really work together. We do now, and we see eye to eye. We're like-minded kind of people, and why wouldn't we collaborate? That's what it's all about, you know. Again, no man is an island.
Absolutely.
This is an opportunity to do so, to turn our church, our venue, into a multi-dimensional, all-modality kind of art for all ages. And look, we're living in a time, for right or for wrong, that is, people are separated, or at least they seem separated and divided. And I believe, you know, behind it all, in reality, good people pretty much agree on the most important things in life, in our community. You know, I don't think we're as divided as it appears to be. And I think one of the things that brings people together and that reminds them of that we're all human beings, is art. Mm-hmm. Art's part of the fabric of our culture and our society all around the world.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I think with the Art Attack, man, is, you know, like, yeah, you might love hip hop and you might like death metal, you might like, you know, this, that, and the other thing, man, fucking mesh that shit together. And I've always seemingly done that. I didn't know I was doing it, but people would say, hey, you know what? Like, when you brought this together, I'm like, dude, it's just fucking, you guys are good musicians. But yeah, bringing everything together, man. Like,
and we're just trying to, and likewise, I'm not an artist necessarily, you know, it's just come together. Let's try to build something beautiful. And again, it's not about selling alcohol necessarily. It's about driving in. I'm looking forward to driving into the parking lot on a Wednesday evening and going,
Look at all this.
look at these people, and it could be younger people, whatever. We're, you know, obviously it is a place that sells alcohol, so we have to be careful. Mm-hmm. People are underage. There's no underage drinking or anything like that. But it's not about drinking. The bar will be open, of course, but younger folks will not be allowed to walk around to the Paddy side or anything like that. There's the same, but there's plenty of space. But there's all kinds of things planned, not just the visual arts, but everything else. There's even, we have an old lady teaching how to grow herbs and things like, you know, it's going to be really fun out on the patio, and we're hoping that it develops. And again, you said the magic words earlier there, Dominique, community, the C word. Community. I've always found that anything that I've ever done that involved the community or with that kind of thinking has always thrived. Mm-hmm. And when I think about the things when I've gotten burned, when I've stood or gotten stood on, it was, when I thought about it, you know, that really wasn't, I was kind of thinking about myself there more so than the community. this is for the community. So it's something good. We're trying to do something good. And we hope people will come out and give it a shot. Throw your eyes on it and see what we're trying to do and support it. As Shawn said, nobody else is doing this. The community needs it. And hopefully the public will respond.
Cool. So anything can be considered art. So we've got growing herbs, and we're dreading, we are painting, we're penciling. Will there be music?
Yes, we're gonna do probably to begin with kind of acoustic music. We're talking about bringing maybe down the road. We want to see how it develops first, but what we don't want is drums and bass, like a loud act over on the stage, maybe drowning out. We want to try to have it balanced enough where if we do have a band, they play a few numbers and they take a break. We don't want any one modality to kind of overwhelm the other. So, and it's going to be, we have to figure it out because it's been quite a while since this guy was in the bar business, and people have changed, times have changed. So we want to kind of see, but we're kind of deferring to Shawn. He's done this, made it a success in the past. So we're kind of all following him to see, what do you think? We're meeting tonight about it to tie up the loose ends. And May 1st, 8:00 is when we kind of, open the doors and see who shows up and see what we got,
Well, both of you guys have a really huge following, so I don't really think it's going to be a problem seeing what we got.
Well, that's true, but I think this is a different kind of thing, as opposed to music. I'm hoping that people that will come out that don't even know me or heard of me, and that's fine. It's not about me, or I'm sure Shawn will say the same thing.
The way I think about it is how big the Art Attack was in the past. Dude, if half of those people show up, it's good. But like, it's gonna watch. It's gonna be huge. And if you don't show up to Art Attack, wow. They're pretty badass. I'll tell you, it's so cool.
What are you doing?
I love those kind of people.
The old saying it reminds me of as well, if you don't know what it is, it must be art. Because there's some wild shit out there. Abstract art is a great example sometimes. My friend Shawn, is an art professor of art, was telling me about a competition or some kind of exhibition that was done at the Metropolitan Museum of Art some years ago, where they took some well-known abstract art, well-known artists who create abstract art, took the names off the painting, and then they intermingled art by 7-year-old students from Hoboken, and it caught a lot of people, even some of the art critics didn't realize that the 7-year-old painted that, and a 70-year-old master in Paris painted that. And they didn't, so there is a lot of shit in there.
Yes, and I've seen art like that. It was from a 7-year-old. They didn't mean to be awesome. It's fucking incredible.
They use the lights.
Well, I'm an abstract artist myself. I'll piss all over the place, in red, and there's my art. But man, like 7-year-olds should come out, right? Yeah. So I was like, this is it, and we're gonna take a stab at it, see where it ends, or see where it begins, to how we could blossom it, And I promise you, like this is where it's at, man. Art Attack.
Art Attack, boys and girls.
That's what
Art Attack.
Zoom in there.
So May 1st, 8:00 at Paddy's, and we will put the address down for those of you who don't know. We have a great community of collectives, and you should join. So be like Basquiat and get tired of coloring in the lines and do something unorthodox for a time. It's the Nuthin To Do podcast. I want to thank Paddy and Shawn for coming on.
Dominates the shit.
And hopefully we can have more events to talk about. Well, not hopefully. We will have more events to talk about because these guys are applying pressure in the community. So we'll talk to you soon. Be right back.
Peace.
All right, guys, for this episode 17 of the Nuthin To Do podcast, my next guest that I want to introduce to you, I want to give a little backstory about how I function as a person. My mama's only child. everybody's daddy was a Rolling Stone, but being my mama's only child, there are people that are a little bit more seasoned than me that I look up to. And that's like seasoned in profession, seasoned in life challenges, life lessons, and how they come out of it. Like just people that have progressed further than I have. And it's never like a, oh man, I'm gonna hate on them type things. It's a, oh man, they're wonderful. How do I get to work with them? And this next person, I have been wondering how I could say this. And I was just like, how can I get her on the show? And then one day, you guys know how I operate. After one or two, I was like, hey girl, you coming on the show? And so here we have someone that I consider my sister in the business, the ShaDonna McPhaul. Thank you.
Yeah. Honey, yes, you know I love a camera, honey. I love to run my mouth. Give me a mic. Is this thing on? Ain't nobody ever got to ask me twice.
I'm glad you came on because, I mean, you're doing so much for the city, right? And a lot of people that leave never want to come back, but there's still work to be done and you're back. What brought you back? Let's talk about it.
So I am born and raised in Fayetteville, right? Cape Fear Valley. I remember one time we was at a chamber event and the CEO of Cape Fear Valley, I knew he was going to be the speaker. So I brought in my birth certificate and he was tickled pink. But yeah, I was born here, graduated from Bird, go Eagles.
Let's go.
Joined the military right after high school. Did my 20 years and came back because my whole family's still here. So I tell people all the time, and I do think about leaving. I do think, you know, I can go to Atlanta, LA, New York, anywhere and make it, Vegas. But this is home. Yeah. I'm like, if I can do all that stuff there, I can do it here too and still be at the barbecue on Saturdays. Yeah. That's what I want to do. I want to have fun, do my thing, and be with the family when it's time to be with the family.
Yeah. So, like, speaking of Vegas, do I want to jump into Vegas or do I want to jump into what you do? Let's jump into Vegas.
Yes.
So, in case you guys didn't know, your girl was out in Vegas for Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, the week. Super Bowl media week.
Okay. How was that?
That was amazing. So, how that came about, shout out to On Stage Plus TV. I was put out that I'm doing my podcast, the Mo You Know podcast, Mo Knows Love and Money and all of the things. And he was like, where are you going to, David Watts was like, where are you going to distribute the show? I don't know. I'm just going to record it. You know, whatever happens, happens. And there was an opportunity to do Super Bowl Soulful Celebration that was going to be, that was on CBS. Wasn't going to be nothing. It was on CBS. Yeah. And, you know, they was looking for people to cover the red carpet. So I applied, and I was getting kind of antsy because I hadn't heard anything. And you know me, I was about to, hey guys, you know, just checking in, but I didn't. And it was Friday before MLK weekend because I remember I was having an event that Saturday for MLK, the Dreams and Celebrations event. So I got the email that Friday night. And so I went into Saturday and I've been rolling like ever since 2024 came in. So yeah, it was cold. Marcus did my hair, of course. Shout out to Marcus. Shout
out, plug.
And Terrell, actually, because when I started going to them in 2020, I tell them all the time from day one, I said, hey, I want to look like I'm on reality TV. I want to be on reality. I don't want to be on reality TV. I don't. I want to have my own show. Like I was saying, I want to be Tamron and Jennifer Hudson and Sherry Shepherd. I have the doors to open when my guests come. So, you know, I'm putting it out there. God, I think we're close. You said we're close, right?
We're close.
We're close. Okay.
We're close. Hold me. Hear us out.
Yeah, so it was cold and Terrell came with me and did my makeup and had my dress. My boobs was all taped and it was great. Met some real world celebrities. Who did I meet? Oh my God, now I can't think. And I see all these people in my face. I met the guy that does the Future Wifey podcast. I saw Erica and Tina, of course, Kurt Franklin, Robin Thicke, T-Pain was there, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Weren't you in a picture with Cam Newton?
Picture. So here's the thing.
Y'all know Brian be in the background doing all this.
Oh my God. So that Friday, so the Super Bowl Super Bowl Soulful Celebration was that Wednesday. WWE was there that Thursday. And that was a bonus. They did a free
story. Mo loves her wrestling, y'all.
I do. Since a little girl, I love wrestling. And then when I found out they was doing the free event, so I was like, okay, this is God. So, and then, oh my God, so I'm gonna come back to wrestling. I gotta go to Cam. So that Friday was, I got the pass to go do the Media Week Radio Row. And everybody, I saw Emmett Smith, I saw, what's the guy? Barry Sanders. I saw CJ Stroud. I saw Cam. So I'm sitting there like stalking because he had his podcast and, you know, people, Shadir Sanders, everybody was coming through doing his podcast. Everybody was just coming through. And what I know is that back entrance where they was coming in and out, I posted up there. So I saw everybody coming and going, and I didn't even know half the people, but I'm like, I'm just going to get the content. And I said, we're going to play this game. Name that player. I just knew they was somebody if they was coming in and out that door. So I see Cam and he's just taking over. He's doing his podcast. He's just pulling up, popping up on everybody. So he saw me trying to get the picture. He just came up behind me and like really just took the selfie with me, and I could have screamed. And then later on that day, I was like, he was leaving I think he was leaving for the day. And I'm like, Cam, I'm from Fayetteville. We want you back in Charlotte, yada, yada, yo, Vietnam. And he was just the coolest dude. And then I think a couple of weeks later, that incident at his camp happened. And I was just like, man, that's unfortunate. But he said he's not going to stop because they need him.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
like
sometimes people take you there.
They do.
You know, and sometimes you walk enough in that light to be able to turn the other cheek. But I also believe that we're human.
Right.
So
it was so funny because
pray with us, don't play with us.
Girl, you know the bird. So the other day I said on my radio show, I said Cumberland County Schools taught me how to rewrite and fight. And not necessarily I can throw hands, but fight mentally, fight the system, fight the things that they don't want us to have. And, you know, and I was even thinking today, like I've been doing all these events and I see myself up there talking, doing my thing, and I see people rolling their eyes and, you know, and I always went, hey, do you want to tussle? Because if you disrespect me one more time, one more time, because you don't have to be here.
But on the flip side of that just shows how much of a professional that we can be, and how much growth. It's because you take those knocks on the chin. Not everybody's going to agree, but never not protect yourself.
Right.
Ever. But not everybody's going to agree with you, but it's the way you carry yourself that makes more people upset at you.
Yes.
And I'm going to forever be Dominique.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, we are back in Fayetteville. Don't forget, don't let this stress and these hair and these shoes fool you. I am Fayetteville to the heart. Through and through. Proud product of the Cumberland County school system. Through and through. I say that. Even when you gave me my award, you were like, she's a proud product of the Cumberland County school system.
Absolutely. She is about her business.
Friendliest person. Because it's like, okay, I've grown through so many things. Like I said, doing 20 years in the military, everybody, because from different walks of life, from the Midwest, from the West Coast to the North, South, East, West, everybody comes from different walks of life to Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, San Antonio, Texas. So you're getting everything from everybody. Everybody's think they're tough and this and that. So it was a lot of, you know, people trying you. And people try everybody these days. Everybody. You're like, my grandma didn't deserve that. Right. People are trying everybody. And the greatest thing about like our journey and our growth is the fact that people are continuing to try, and they will try even harder the higher you get. Yes. And I know, y'all know I love Oprah. And Oprah was like, if you're not ready for success, if you're not ready to be talked about, you're not ready for success. And I have a coach, shout out to Dr. Patrice Carter. And one of the things that we always talk about in our mentoring coaching sessions is being authentic and not worrying about the higher you go, who's talking. You know, they say everybody can't go with you. But I'm like, y'all, I didn't do all this to stay the same.
And speaking of all this, because we jump right in.
Right.
All this. You're an event planner, you're a speaker or MC. You also are a success coach. You're a brand ambassador, a brand coach. What else am I?
I'm a mom. I'm a veteran. I host a radio show, host a podcast. Like I said, a party promoter, a club promoter, event promoter. But at the heart of who I am, like I said, public relations. Like, I'm not a politician, but I shake hands and kiss babies with the best of them. I've learned from the best.
Absolutely.
So anything you're trying to do, you have to love people. And that's the one thing about me. I love people. I love the residents of Cumberland County. Just like this past week, we had our Welcome to Cumberland County mixer, which was my Super Bowl.
It was beautiful.
It was my, because I went to Vegas and they rolled out the red carpet for everybody. Every time you go to a big event, big city, when there's money involved, when the hotels and all the things moving and shaking, I said, well, what can I do? You know, how can I make, you know, anytime you're in business, they say you have to have a big event. That's your Super Bowl. That's your playoffs. That's your World Cup. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, you have to have something in your business that's that. And this Welcome to Cumberland County mixer was my Super Bowl. Shout out to the Crown.
Oh, yeah. Dorothy,
yes. Being a Crown influencer,
Maddie.
yes.
Like, the Crown has been taking care of us.
Yes, shout out to our commissioners.
Yes.
You know, they all, you know, reached out. Like, this next
Jimmy
one
Keith.
is going to be Jimmy Keith. Yes, shout out to Jimmy Keith. And that's the thing. It was like, we always go to the politicians with problems, but being in the military, they was like, you better come with a solution. We know it's a problem. Well, what's the solution? And I always tell people, I feel like I've been, these 8 years that I've been back, I've been on the Cumberland County boot camp. I thought I was going to come back. And I'm like, man, I've been running these Cumberland County streets since I was 15 years old. I know what I'm doing. They're going to love me. But it was different. It's changed a lot. And then, you know, you're coming at it not as just a civilian. Now you're a small business owner. Now you're, you know, people are taking notice. People are like, okay, some people love it, some people don't. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, I love this community with everything I have in me. You know, everybody like, Mo, why did you come back? You could be doing this, that, and the third. I know. But this is where I want to be. And I always tell people your want has to be greater than your want.
Yeah.
What you want to do has to be greater than what you're not going to do. Everybody, well, I ain't doing that. Well, let's talk about what you are going to do, because what you're not going to do is waste my time. Yes. We're not wasting my time, because I don't have time to waste, because there are so many people who are focused on what they want to do. And like I said, I'm doing the things with the people, just like this weekend. Oh my God, you know, it's the Dogwood Festival.
It's Dogwood Festival, and it's also Woodpecker's home stretch.
Yep.
Comic-Con.
Yep.
What you got going on?
I got a Mimosas and Melodies and Mimosa event at Crest, where 803 Fresh is coming back to perform. Suave the Poet, that I know who you've had on your show. That's just going to be a great thing, because a lot of times people talk about, and I know I saw the rundown, they're going to have some hip hop and R&B, which is great. But it's just like, okay, y'all. And I made a post today. I said, you know, at this big age, I'm going to create and manifest the things that I want, personally, professionally, respectfully, because we have to. We can.
Yeah.
Like, we go to work and do all of these things. It's like, what do you want to do? Like, it's really, you know, I don't know if you watch Housewives, but you remember Sheree was like, she said something about, who gonna check me?
Who gonna check me, boo?
Yeah, that's not the
She
thing.
about Sheree. Who gonna check me, boo?
But it was just like, you know, it's not who's gonna let me, it's who's gonna stop me.
Absolutely.
Nobody, only you can stop you at this point. But I know sometimes you need permits and all of the things, but things that don't require permits, things that it's just going to take you and your execution to do, you got to do it.
And there are ways and people to, like, with everyone saying there's no money out here, there's no money. Arts Council is giving you grant money. I don't know how to do all that. They're giving you workshops.
Right. The city, the county, everybody. And this is what I tell people too. Learn the criteria. Learn, just like when I always use the DMV, for example. they have what you need. And I live and die by a checklist. And I know I was telling Dr. Patrice, I'm like, even with working with my clients, I have a checklist that I go by and some more things that I got to add. That money piece. I know last week over at FTCC, the city was there talking about the money, Thread Capital, shout out to Crystal McLean. There are so many ways. I met a lady from United Bank. The banks, there's no shortage of money. There's shortage of people being in a position to get it, shortage of people not knowing the criteria, not meeting the criteria. But once you know the criteria, you can do what you got to do to make those changes.
But are we willing and really, really wanting to make these changes? If
you do, then great. You're going to see a change. You're going to see the fruit of your labor. If you don't, you're going to complain. I'm like, oh my God, they did this to me and they wouldn't let me do this. No, you have to make a decision and say, hey, I want a better life. I want better for my son. I want better for my nephew. I want better for me.
Yes.
I want a better life. I don't, like I always say, I'm tired of eating Wendy's 4 for 4. It's just like, I want those options like I had on active duty. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. And so you pour into a lot of the people of the community. Like we can always count on you to show your face, if especially if there's an invite in there. With Melodies and Mimosas, I know Dre's kind of like your mentee.
Yeah.
What kind of vibe are you guys providing for us?
So, and shout out to Coco, and we've already said it's going to be, I don't want to say, it's going to be classy, savage, ratchet. We're going to be Meg the Stallion. But like I said, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be vibes. It's afternoon, Saturday. Lord, I hope I didn't check the weather. But it's going to be a good time with good people. And that's all, like I said, 803 Fresh. Y'all can go to Apple Music right now and listen to his music. And I know y'all have heard Dre, how he gets down. But with every event that you do, it's the people that you come with. If you want to sit in the corner and be mad and sad, I never not go somewhere and dance. I can't dance a lick. But if there's some music playing, I'm going to have a good time. So it's just like, y'all, come on out, get your tickets. The tickets are on Eventbrite. They're $30 in advance, $40 at the door because, you stressing people out. Can we talk about why? And I know I talked about this with the Crown. Why you being in radio and promotions and doing the things. Fayetteville has this stigma about not buying tickets early, being a walk-up market.
Yes.
And I know I had a conversation with Cheyenne, Maddie, and Anna from the Crown, and what they've done their studies and all of the things in which most people don't realize is with Fayetteville and Fort Liberty being right here, sometimes the military don't know if they're going to be here or not, which I give them that. But the civilians, y'all know y'all going to be here.
Yeah.
Why y'all ain't getting y'all tickets early?
There's no excuse to stress the promoter out. But honestly, I don't know if we could stop trying to compare ourselves to Raleigh. That'd be great. But if we can go ahead and sell out things like Raleigh does, then, it might make a little bit more sense to even put ourselves into that category. But it's like, maybe because we're so used to free events, that we're looking to see what free event's going to be first. Yeah. So maybe they are planning, but we're a walk-up city and it's scary. Yeah. As a promoter.
It is. And you know what? I was talking to a DJ, and he was saying those other markets, not that we're necessarily trying to compare, but those other markets buy tickets in advance. They know, somebody has made it click to them. Every time I see a big concert, Raleigh, Charlotte, Greensboro, one of those markets is going to be on that tour. Just like, Meg the Stallion and Glow, I'm going to see them in Raleigh. Corinne Hawthorne, I'm going to see them in Charlotte. I would love to have them here. The Crown's big enough.
The Crown is big enough. And I say that with the Dreamville conversation, as a city, we have a lot of work to do to get ready to that level, but we have this big venue and we're building another one.
And I know even with the Dreamville, like I said, I was in the military, so I wasn't here for the rise of J. Cole. I did see him at a Charlotte Hornets game, though, because, he's part owner or whatever. So when people was like, oh, J. Cole, he's soft, he's this, I'm like, yo, this man is more than a rapper. Okay, let's be clear. Yeah. Let's be clear. He is part owner of an NBA team. He's not going to mess that up. Yeah. And he's grown. Everybody was like, oh, mature. When you mature, you're going to see a difference. Just like me, I talk about tussling and all that. I ain't tussling with a soul because I'm not finna have my mama to come down to Cumberland County Detention Center to get me. She would, but that's embarrassing.
She would be down there, but that's really embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Different talk from when you're 15 and 16, having explain your actions to your mom when you're 40.
Right. I'm 46 and I am not doing that's before I make crazy decisions personally, professionally, and respectfully. I'm like, is this going to embarrass anybody? Yeah. Is this going to embarrass me? And I don't want to be embarrassed. Yeah, so, absolutely. I talk my talk, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk away. Like, okay, you got it.
Yeah. And I talking about talking your talk, I wish that people would at least comment on the events. Hey, I'm thinking about going to this, but I mean, they do it in some communities, but not necessarily on events like ours, just to make sure that it's getting traction and radar because it costs nothing to share. Yeah. But who's really looking at it?
Yeah, shout out to Chris from Fade Today. He put it out there. It gets a lot of shit. I saw him do Ray Thomas's show the other day.
Ray different though.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, but look, Ray
different. Hold on, did you ask Chris?
I asked Chris.
What'd he say?
He said he's not ready for that yet.
I'll talk to him.
But then again, it's like talking about that Fayetteville Raleigh conversation.
Yeah.
I'm Red Springs, raised New York City.
But it doesn't matter.
Red Springers. But raised New York City.
But you know what? But Chris is Chris.
Yeah.
And he does what he does. You think I'm everywhere. He has that camera everywhere. All the parades, all the big events. He loves this city just as much as anybody else. So I think... just give him some time, and I'm like, hey, Chris.
I told him whenever he's ready, and the reason why I do like Chris so much is because he does shine a light on a lot of things going on in the city, and it takes a lot to be everywhere. When we had your event, then I had to go to another event after that. I'm still recovering.
Yeah. And it's funny because, last week I had all the things and I took a break Saturday because, you only have but so much energy. And I used to be that person who was here, there, and everywhere. And I'm like, Mo, pick one thing, go and give it everything you got. Not just going here, hey, y'all, I got to go. Just came to show my face. And I think that's a growth and maturity too. Like, you can't be everywhere. It's just like, okay. Where do you really have to be?
Yeah.
What's really the Mo Because I support everybody, but now I'm in this season. Okay, Mo, you got to build your brand. You got to be the event that people come to. It's one thing to always be the consumer. Now I want to be what's the other word that I'm looking for? Trying to be all smart and
stuff. There's supply and demand.
Yeah. I'm going to be on the other side of the consumer.
Well, I call it my holiday parkism. Sometimes you just got to break it down. There's a supply, there's a demand. I'm trying to supply you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I want to, and I told when I went to the coffee with the mayor, I'm like, I want to be, and I'm not going to be at all the parties every night, but I want to be that person that's helping with the nightlife here in Fayetteville, because we talk about the Raleigh, the Charlottes, and all of the places that have nightlife. And our generation, we're not going out every weekend. We have the disposable income to do it, but we also have the bills and we want nice things and we want to have money if the car breaks down and the kids need this and all of the things. But every so often we want to go out and do a little stanky leg from time to time.
Yeah,
yeah. And that's you talk about the vibe. That's the vibe, Look at get it ready, warm it up.
Right.
Warm it up. Warm it up. Warm it up.
If you heard something crackle, it wasn't the mic.
Warm up that leg. He ready to do it now. Listen, warm up that leg, y'all.
It wasn't the mic.
Warm up that leg. Warm it up. What they say, crisscross, warm it up, Chris.
I miss the club days, but I too know that my body ain't ready.
You remember you showed me how to look
Yeah,
with the shoulders.
And then let me tell you, I went to sleep the other night and I had a kink in my neck. I'm gonna blame it from the shoulders.
No, that's blaming on your pillows, because I do that too, because my pillows be moving. And oh, Marty, all these pillows, why are they falling behind the bed? But it's just like you want what you want. Just like I was telling Mike from Seven Horsemen Billiards, I'm like, back in the day, growing up, we had this club right here off of Bragg Boulevard called Houston City Limits.
Yes.
And on Sunday nights, parents going to work, ain't nobody gonna be in there anyway, they let the teens have it. And I know it's a lot now to ask venues to not sell liquor, to give something back to the teens, but we have to. We keep saying nothing to do. We got to give these kids something to do. We have to give these kids opportunities to talk face to face, because everybody can do the TikToks and the digital stuff, which is great because I'm a digital creator, shout out. But you still have to know how to talk to people face to face, to get things done, to shake their hands, to kiss the babies, to get to those yeses a little faster, because a lot of these teens, they want to text these people, hey, can I get this? And the older generation is not taking a text from you to give you nothing. You're going to have to call or come talk to them face to face. And just showing them how to do that is very important to me.
And I feel like as our teens growing up, not having resources where they can go out and do a lot, like there's little things that they can, I'm not knocking anybody's stuff, but there's a few things for them to do here, but not seeing it, they're going to leave and go to other schools. We have a great HBCU right down the street. We got a great PA program at Methodist. They're going to leave and go elsewhere because there's actually they feel like there's actually a little bit more out there to offer for them.
And you know what? And I will recommend, like, I left here at 18. I would recommend, everybody's like, keep them home. Let them go spread their wings. Like for me, that's why I have such an appreciation for Fayetteville, because I left. People who have been here, they just take everything for granted. So leave, spread your wings, go see other opportunities and bring it back here. Yeah, come back.
Important part, it's a boomerang, right? The boomerang goes out and then it comes back. You gotta come back with the knowledge that you have to help us grow. Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things too that we talked was, hit on earlier, if you want to do something, talk to who you got to talk to make it happen. You don't have to wait on anybody to create it for you. Now, in this day and age, if you can create a TikTok, you can create an event. You can create a program. You can create the things that you want to see. What, like that old saying goes, be the person you needed when you was 18. That's what I'm trying to do. But the 18, 17, 18, y'all know what y'all want to do. Some of them, we've been doing the career fairs. Some people know exactly what they want to do. Some people don't. But those who know what they want to do, hey, let's talk about it. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it. Let's help map this out. Just like I help map things out for adults, my heart is really with these kids. Because with adults, I'm over it because they don't listen. But these kids, I feel like I got a little, you don't. You don't. You've already figured it out. But with these kids, they're hard-headed too. Don't get me wrong. But I think I'll have a better chance. Like I'll say, hey, we can do this, we can do that. And letting them know, okay, it's going to take some time. Don't get frustrated. People fail every day. I know it took me 2 times to get my driver's license. It takes me 2 times to do everything. I failed at everything the first time, but it doesn't stop me. So even, you take the test and you're like, okay, they give you the answers. Oh, let me memorize these answers. And I'm taking the test right back and I got 100 because once you expose yourself to something, and that's the thing I'm really big on too, is exposing these kids to something different, giving them access. Once you expose them and give them the access, open that door for them to let them do the things. Just like Dorothy was like, Cumberland County is so used to hearing no, they don't even ask, they don't even try anymore. So if we start giving these kids and adults the yeses, just like yesterday,
my son wanted to go to Walmart to get some pencils, and I didn't want to go to Walmart. I wanted to go to Family Dollar so I can go in and out and not spend no extra money. But I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? It's not going to kill me to go to Walmart. If that's what he wanted, give it to him. And so people are so want to say no all the time. Like, just try a yes every now and then and see how it's going to make you feel better. Is it going to make the other person feel better? Personally, professionally, respectfully. You know, just lighten up. You know, that's why I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to go. But we went. We made it out.
Everybody's okay.
Everybody's okay. Everybody's happy. And I said this too, you know, I made a post. If we do a better job trying to accommodate people, not just shutting everything down, we'll be a lot happier. That's why my soul and my spirit is so happy, because, you know, I go the extra mile. But like, why? I ain't doing all that. They don't pay me for that. Baby, listen, if you want to go further, you're going to have to take those extra steps.
Absolutely.
Go that extra mile. It's not, especially if it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to cost you any more money. It may cost you some time, but you're going to have to spend some time or some money to get anything you want. But just remember that nothing is free. You're going to have to spend time or money to get the things that you want.
And that is basically me. I'm going to be asleep if I'm not out. So let's just go ahead and be out. Now you give them the county, you give them the city what we need. Besides the mimosas and melodies, what else do you have going on this weekend or next week? I know you have something.
Yes. So yes, always.
Great,
so shout out once again to Seven Horsemen Billiards. You know, we're going to do bike night. We're going to do a concert in June. We got a family day coming up. You know, we got poker coming up. We got comedy coming up. It's a lot coming up. And, you know, shout out to Moses Ranch. You know, we're getting a 4-H club going. I hope I don't forget anything. Shout out to E.E. Smith. We have our 3rd annual E.E. Smith Alumni Sports Hall of Fame, powered by Jerome Scott, the insurance guy. So I have plenty. I have a lot to do. And I'm so thankful and so grateful, because this is what I prayed for.
Yeah.
I prayed to be able to work with people to help them grow and expand and to make money. Because at the end of the day, we're in business to make money. Yeah, we can have the biggest hearts ever, but we gotta make money. And I'm saying this to myself because I didn't get into business. I didn't do that at first. I just wanted to do things. But now it's like, no, Mo, these nice centerpieces you want, these nice food you want, this nice band you want, this nice DJ you want, these nice photographer and videographers, it costs money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where I had to mentally do a shift. Like, okay, Mo, it's okay to be compensated for your time and your talents, your experience and your expertise, because, you know, growing up in, you know, our community, you know, household, don't be money hungry. And that's the worst advice ever. I'd rather be money hungry than hungry.
I'm still trying to figure out what's the difference, because I still get pains whether I'm money hungry or hungry.
And I'm not money hungry. Like I said, so it was very important to me when I came back to do those those pro bono, to get the community to understand I'm not here, I'm not on a quick money grab. Like I said, I did 20 years in the military. Thank God. I know I'm going to get enough. I'm gonna get $4 every month to go to Wendy. Right. So anything extra, it's like, okay, because I want the nice things. And I think we should all aspire to have the nice things. Like I talked about the talk show where I want the doors to open and all of the things. Guess what? You're going to have to put the time in. You're going to have to show somebody that you're worthy, that you're capable, that you are worth the investment that they put in. Because a lot of times people now, they be like, Mo, I stalked your page. Great. Because I'm going to keep feeding the beast. Because I know I put out great content. I know people are watching. I know people are making money from working with me. So I stand, like I say 10 toes down on the business when it comes to what I do and how I do it. So, you know, and it's not on no cocky stuff. I'm like, I really put time and effort into this craft.
And I feel like Fayettevillians, you need to put time and effort and stay 10 toes down to the people of your community that are doing things to provide entertainment. Yeah, for me, sometimes it's more of a this is helping me get my mental release that I need. But we're having things here, and we're trying our best to give back to the community the best way we know how, and that's talking.
Yes. And speaking of mental, and I'm very transparent about my challenges with mental health. But what I know, the antidote of being depressed and the anxiety is going to come. But when I'm doing stuff, that's why I'm a busybody, because what they say, an idle mind is a devil's playground.
Absolutely.
When I'm accomplishing things, when I'm walking in my purpose, I am happier than can be. So it's not necessary. I need the money to pay the bills personally, professionally, and respectfully, but it makes me feel good. Yeah. I feel amazing.
Absolutely. So tell the people where they can find you on the socials.
Yes, the Mo You Know, 2/14, February the 14th is my birthday. ShaDonnaMcPhaul.com. And I tell people you can Google me. And that's what I want you to be Googleable too, because not everybody's on social, but everybody's on Al Gore's internet.
They are. Or as the younger people would say, Beyonce's internet. Yes. So if you guys are, not busy this weekend, or whatever's going on between that lunch daytime hour at Dogwood isn't your thing, make sure to check out the Crest Building, second floor.
Second floor, yes. And I also want to say, like I said, the tickets are $30. You go and get you a turkey leg, they're $20.
Yes.
And when you these food trucks, they're going to tax you, as they should, because I'm pretty sure anytime you go to these venues, you're paying a fee. So don't let the price, because look at what you're getting for the $30. Yeah. You're getting entertainment, you're getting camaraderie, you're getting access to your next business partner, your next sponsor, your next friend. And that's what I'm really about, helping you make friends, because it's hard at this big age to make new friends, because you get so caught up in the business. But just having somebody like, oh my God, I just want to go out for a drink, but I don't know nobody. Well, come out and get to know people.
Make friends.
Cumberland County is really friendly, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Besides our tough exterior, we're really friendly inside.
We are. And some of the best people to have on your side.
Yeah.
So come on out, enjoy, follow, and see what your girl's doing, because she's always doing something. And again, I admire you and I appreciate you for coming on the show. So this is the Nuthin To Do Podcast, episode 17. Yep, you saw it in my eyes. I had to count it. Yeah. And we'll be back with another episode for another segment for you. Bye, guys. So to save time on this week's episode, because you're probably just as ADD as I am, on the people who do, I just gave you 3 heavy hitters. What more do you want from me? And it's only going to get better, like Dennis says in the intro and outro, because I have next week planned for you guys. So we're just going to skip ahead. Say thank you to the Share Studios for letting me be in your space. Jimmy, he came down, but I don't know why he won't jump on camera with me. Producer Brian, and Cumulus Radio Group, Cheryl for holding us all together. Rock 103, Q98, Magic 106.9, 6:40 a.m. You guys make sure to tune in every Sunday on Rock 103 from 9 to 2 to check me out. And then let's get ready for some baseball. See you guys in the weekend as your MC for the Woodpeckers. So here's something to do, since we've already knocked out our people to do. See you next week. Bye. I'm a single lady, so let's see.
Thanks for tuning in to the Nothing to Do Weekly Podcast, recorded at the Share Studios in Fayetteville, North Carolina, with your host, Dominique. And make sure to tune in next week because it's only going to get better.